been eating meats for thousands of years, right? And our species
Miss
has
Kathy Hughes of Radio 1. She's like, Michael, it is time that you guys organize a fund to set aside to help people who sacrifice for our freedom. Meaning, every time something happens, I hear this. Why don't the gang bangers jump up and do something for it? Why don't you kill them? You kill each other. And I say to myself, when is the last time you sent money to Asada Shakur? When is the last time you sent money to Matulu Shakur? When is the last time you sent money to Mumia Abu Jamal or Larry Hoover or Jeff Ford or Leonard Peltier? When is the last time you have made it your business to send money to a revolutionary or a hoodlum that has helped us? And until we start to do that, how can we ask these young men to be warriors? Because if they do it in the name of the hood, at least the hood don't honor their name always. At least the hood don't make sure at least their children got something or their mama's house is looked after. As a community, if we're going to ask people to bungee jump for us with no cord, be prepared to take care of them when they get a life sentence. Be prepared to look after their families. See, I don't mind the work get done, but let's take care of the workers. Let's stop asking more out of people than we would do for ourselves. So what I'd like to see, my dream thing is to see 1 million people from the culture dedicate $10 a month. That's $10 million a month, $120 million a year toward taking care of a civil rights leader who have worked on our behalf and are elderly now and don't have to take care of themselves, like Rosa Parks, who's paid by the owner of Little Caesars Pizza. We should have had a fund to make sure that she never had to worry about that again in her life. We should have a fund that makes sure money makes it to Asada Shakur. And Matulu Shakur has legal representation and food. And Leonard Peltier, who has diabetes and jail, can get insulin taken care of. And until we start doing it, $10 a month is about what you pay on a couple fast food restaurant visits. So if 1 million of us do that for the rest of our life, look at how well we'll be taking care of the people that we're asking to sacrifice on our behalf.
I agree, and recently...
Kemet at the end of the day, right? Kemet. So now when you talk about Kemet,
peace, greeting for those who tune in. Welcome to the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition podcast. This episode we live in the street. We're in Queensbridge, the largest public housing in the United States. Very important that we bring an idea to the people. So far prior to this episode, I had some very good conversations with some people in the community. Very thankful for me giving them information on political prisoners. It's getting a little loud out here because we have a debate going on between plant-based diet and eating meat. So it's good to struggle to elevate our consciousness. And we welcome all those conversations. We're here to represent the interests of the political prisoner, not letting them die in prison. And that's why it's very important that we out here. I'm with my brother Abdul Haq. So we making sure that we're out in the community because we have to make arrangements. We have to have the podcast that's inside where we just focus on the actual material of political prisoners, and then we have to be out in the street where we actually talk to the community about political prisoners, because this is an idea that's not common to many people. And I want to take a few minutes to point to what's on the flyer, right? This card right here says, what is a political prisoner? And this is a very simple term, and I think that it's very comprehensive. It says a political prisoner is a person held in confinement because of their support of or identity with a people struggling for freedom from an oppressive government or against its oppressive policies. So that's very straight and to the point, and I think that we should pass that on. We should internalize that definition so we see the importance of fighting for our political prisoners. So Abdul Haq.
Absolutely. Peace and love, brothers and sisters. Revolutionary greetings. Turn the camera that way a little bit, brother. The show, we got the brothers and sisters out here giving away the free food today. like the Black Panthers used to do. We're on the corner of 40th and 12th and Queensbridge, right on, to all the brothers and sisters here in Queensbridge and to our listening audience. What I want to do today is to contextualize our demand for freedom for political prisoners in the news. The headlines in the news in the past couple of days have been this big riot by white supremacists in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. And, I want to say that, they want to project the power and the numbers of these white supremacists. And one thing about these individuals is that their philosophy is to hate black people. They carry Confederate flags, and, they would like to overwhelm us and make us give in and be fearful. That's what they want. So we need the generalship of revolutionaries to put heart and spirit in the people. The bold, courageous, invincible spirit the revolutionaries always come back. Bold and audacious. That's what the Black Panthers have been. That's what our courageous generals have been, and that's what they put in the people. And that's very, very needed today. Like I was saying, there's many, many white supremacists in this country. I was reading the book, The Broken Heart of America, and it gives a history that most of the founders of America were white supremacists. Today, you got millions and millions and millions of white supremacists. You have 2,000 white militias right now training to kill black people. So we need a militant leadership among us. We need master teachers among us to raise the spirits of the people, to with their dedication and commitment and the sacrifice that they're willing to do for our people. This is needed today more than ever. Because like I said, there's a big movement of white supremacy, a very, very violent movement, and it's going to strike again. Like I said, we saw some of it on January 1st, and they're still in existence. They're going to strike again. So we need to get ourselves ready. A brother named Zion recently cut an album called Fight. So our people we have to have the fight in us. We need a fighting spirit among our people. And this is what our political prisoners represent. This is the treasure, the value that they hold for us. Political prisoners have always stood and fight when the generalship of the enemy has always been to make us feel that we're overwhelmed, that there's nothing we can do. The Quran talks about King Talut and his men who stood and fought the forces of Goliath. That is symbolic of a small force overcoming a much bigger force that has happened many times in history. King Talut, when they came to a stream, he told his army, only take a small sip. Those who take more cannot go with me. So those who were faithful, who had the discipline, took a small sip, they went forward and defeated a much larger army. And that's when David killed Goliath. Imam Jamil has told us that anybody can fight, but everybody can't win. The price of winning is high. The price of winning is to be on the level of your nafsi al-mutmainah. That's the level of the nafs, of the self. It's in its highest stage. In the book, The Broken Heart of America, it talks about in several cities where this slavery to lower desires, what that came from, it's a product of capitalism. And people operating on this level do not stand up against oppressors. They ain't got no fight in them, you know. And to be on the level of our highest self is what is necessary to fight this white supremacist enemy. And I'm saying that our political prisoners have the wherewithal, have the leadership ability, the ability to teach, to be out here among us as master teachers, to teach us that under the spirit of our love of ourselves, that we can stop this murdering of one another and have the sense and the courage to stand up against the real enemy. People who have a love of self do not kill one another. You know, the message that our political prisoners have for our people is much different from the culture that comes from the capitalist enemy. You can only get a recording contract if you preach murdering your own kind, hating the members of your own race, trying to get a reputation for killing one another. This is what modern day Uncle Toms and Black Sambos do. Anybody who records music and tells you to murder your own kind, to have a great overwhelming desire to murder someone who looks like you, to destroy a face that looks like your face. Anybody who will only get a recording contract if they will do this is an enemy to our people, is a race traitor. So we say we need those who love our people, who sacrifice our people, who are committed to our people. We need them among us, and we need to stop hearing this madness, this crazy information that has our people acting crazy and foolish in the street. Killing each other don't make a lick of sense, you know? And so we're saying in these critical times when white supremacist groups, 2,000 white supremacist militias are training to kill black people, we need a generalship of our best among us. So black people must raise the demand that our political prisoners must be free. We need to make some noise about this. We need to understand that we got the strength and the power, you understand, to make the enemy respond to us. You know, we got the power in us. We got to feel our power. White supremacy always wants you to feel powerless. During my studies in prison, I came across the writings of Admiral Michael J. Aquino, who was a head of a psychological department of the U.S. Army. And what he said was that his main gig was to make his opponents feel hopeless and helpless, that there was nothing they could do to defend themselves against the overwhelming power of this military. In the words of George Bush, shock and awe. So we need a leadership that can destroy that strategy. You understand? And that's what political prisoners are. So we urge our people, you understand, to come together and act in a way that makes sense and demand the freedom of our political prisoners, Black Power, Brother Frank.
There you have it. We provided you with information in the streets of Queensbridge. Now it's on you. Please like, please share this coverage, this episode, and to get involved. Peace. What's the call?
Free 'em all.
What's the call?
Free 'em all.
What's the call?
Free 'em all.
What's the call?
Free 'em all.